You know what that means? It's time. Doing something a little different.
The following program is intended for mature audiences.
This week, we're going to attempt to play a game. I'm gonna play a game. We're going to try to do things clean. I decided that I'm going to challenge myself and make a podcast without cursing, without explicit subject matter, and attempt to get through an hour, which I have, I think, successfully done so. I'm not sure. I haven't edited yet, but I'm going to. I think I only had one slip up, which is pretty good. If you listen to the podcast on a regular basis, you know I let it fly. I let it all out. I don't care. I'm free spirit. I'm jogging through flower petals and just, it's a nightmare in here. Anyway, this is my attempt at a clean hour. If you're new around here, this is not at all what it usually sounds like, so just putting that out there. What's going on, everybody in the clean world? Hello to you from everybody underground, lives in the pale moonlight, the vampires, the ghouls, the goblins. We'll see how this goes. Let me know what you think. I'll see you on the other side.
Welcome!
Dude, I can't even explain it to you. I can't even explain it to you, dude. We are going to try to do the most difficult thing that there is to do ever. And if you were wondering, yes, as a matter of fact, it has never been done before on this channel, on the podcast platform. Never has happened. What are you talking about? Well, first, let's get the nonsense out of the way. At Laughing Birds on Twitter, at Laughing Birds Pod on Instagram. Podcast up in the background every Saturday, which you should be aware of if you're listening to this, unless you found it by mistake, which, not necessarily a bad thing. But I was thinking a couple days ago, and what really pushed me over the edge was the podcast I was editing yesterday. First of all, I lost 30-40 minutes of material, which kills me inside. Because it's not that it was so great and it was the best thing that I ever said and it was so awesome that would have changed the world. It's not that. It's just the fact that it was right there. It was in the middle of recording. There was stuff that could have been in there that I probably could have made funny, interesting premise, and all in the trash. That's no good. So I had to come up with another half hour on the spot, which was not as good because I knew that when I get into doing this, sometimes there's a rhythm to it. It sounds stupid because all I'm doing is talking, but you know when things are going smoothly because it's almost like you hit cruise control, kind of. Where, like, okay, I'm not worried about what I'm going to say now. I'm comfortable. I've gotten past the anxiety of doing it. I'm fine. It's all good. Everything is going to be alright. We're going to do this. So, editing it Am I too far? Probably too far. Editing it, I realized that I curse way too much. Way too much. Especially in the last one, which is... Give me a second. Let me find it. Okay, the one that's coming out on April 11th. Curse way too much. I can't even say the word I want to say, but that's where you gotta get to the point. Okay, because you're talking for 4 minutes and you have not gotten to it. So let's get it out of the way. I haven't said it yet because I'm afraid the second that I do that I'm going to mess it up. I curse too much. I get it! So, before this, I was thinking, you know what would be interesting to try to do? Because I'm dirty a lot of the time, right? I say terrible things often, not to be like crazy or whatever. It's just what it goes on in my mind, you know. I don't really think about it. I mean, obviously, it could be worse. I'm not wild like some people. Still, and you know, it would be interesting to do. It would be a good challenge for you to challenge yourself. You should try this to see if you can do it, which would be an hour of a clean podcast.
I shall dispose of this feathered upstart. I challenge you to a duel.
What? That's right. I have no idea.
I propose, and I'm going to digress slightly. We're in a situation.
How am I going to do this? I did not think this out at all. Not one bit. Didn't think like, oh, there's a subject that I could go into that will help me to keep my balance on this tightrope. Didn't stop to consider it once. So, I have no idea. I have no idea how I'm going to do this. But the point is, I mean, I wish I could get one. Can I get one? No, that doesn't. Because if you do that, then you're just opening the gates. You're opening the gates, and we're gonna be under siege. It's gonna be all types of words that you can't say. See, here's the biggest issue that I have right now. I understand I can go without saying the 7 dirty words, you know? Matter of fact.
And they're the only words that seem to have that restriction. I mean, there are a lot of words you can say whenever you want, you know? Pneumonia! Nobody gives you a lot of... All right, you can't yell it in the hospital a great deal, but what the hell? There are words that you can say, no problem. Topography! No one has ever gone to jail for screaming topography.
What is that? I've never heard that word in my life. Wow, it's a real thing? No, he made it up.
Topography.
An arrangement of natural and artificial physical features in an area. Dude, I'm extremely public school educated. I've never heard that word in my life.
But there are some words that you can go to jail for. There are some words that we just have decided we will not say all the time. Sometimes, okay, if you're running through the jungle chasing somebody that we're at war with, you can holler them. If you're shooting a criminal, it's okay. It's the all-American thing. You know what I mean? It's just like we've decided there'll be some words we won't say all the time. And I was just trying to find out which words they were. For sure, all of them. I wanted a list. Because nobody gives you a list. That's the problem. They don't give you a list. Wouldn't you think it'd be normal if they didn't want you to say something to tell you what it is? Nobody even tells you when you're a kid what the words are that you're supposed to avoid.
You just can't. If you figure it out and you say it, you get in trouble.
To say them, to find out which ones they are.
I don't want to sit here and watch the whole 6-minute bit. I just want to get in the meat and potatoes of the deal. Which I love Carlin. I do, but I don't want to sit here and watch his special trying to do something.
Context.
Yeah, what does it mean? Circumstances that form from a setting for an event, statement, or idea in term of which it can be forcefully understood and addressed.
In looking for these words, I kept finding new categories. We have so many ways of describing these dirty words. We have more ways to describe dirty words than we actually have dirty words. That seems a little strange to me. It seems to indicate that somebody was awfully interested in these words. They kept referring to them. They called them bad words, dirty, filthy, foul, vile, vulgar, coarse, cussing, swearing, risque, suggestive.
Okay, that was a waste of however long I watched that for, because I can't use it. Oh, you know what? Here's what we are going to do. I have the idea. I should be wearing my Magic School Bus hoodie right now because we're about to learn, but Jen was wearing it yesterday, so it's in the bedroom somewhere. In the meantime, I got on my official bonfire gear. What? You heard it first here, SiriusXM Channel 95, Comedy Central Radio, 6 to 8 p.m. Eastern Time. Bad Boys of Sirius AXM, one of the best shows. Alright, what we doing? Okay, I got it. Here's what we're gonna do. Since I have no idea what is considered clean, because I thought about this. So is it true crime clean? Is it a clean subject? It's extremely popular, but it can be gory, can be messy. Is that clean? I don't think so. So what is clean? We're gonna have to look it up. Please hold.
All of our staff are assisting other customers. We will be with you shortly. There are 2 callers ahead of you.
Now, I don't know how to put this. This is the wrong. I put the wrong thing. How do I put this? I'm not sure. Okay, here, this is a start. What does it mean for an outcome to become explicit? No, I don't think that's it either. Well, definitely would not be. I have to cut that out. Well, I've been cursed, yes, so that's good. What does it mean for an outcome to be explicit? Primary reason for requesting outcome to be explicit is to ensure outcome provide enough clarity. That's not, no. I'm wording it wrong. Oh my God. Everything means something else. I don't know how to put this.
It's unbelievable.
I don't know how to write this. Wow. Because everybody always says, when they talk about doing the Tonight Show, some comics, or whatever it is, you gotta be clean, can't say this or do that, but everybody always refers to it as being clean, so nobody, I don't know how I can word it to be like, I want a list of subjects that I could talk about that would keep it friendly. Right? Oh man. Well, I mean, what's the difference? Because I'd imagine that there's G, right? Like there's something. Let's just pretend for a moment that this particular episode could be family friendly for everybody. Even the kids could listen. But we're not gonna go that far. For the kids! Then there's PG, where, well, maybe that's Here we go. How do movies get their rating? Because maybe if we could figure out how a movie goes from rated G to rated R, maybe we can figure out how do we do this here. Rated PG, parental guidance suggested some material may not be suited for children. PG-13, parents strongly caution inappropriate for children under 13. Rated R is restricted. Under 17 requires accompanying parent, adult, or guardian, and NC-17 is no children under 17 admitted. Well, there's a Wikipedia. Motion Picture Association of America Film Rating System. How do films get their rating? Mental flaws. What do movie ratings mean? Who applies them? Hold on, what about this one? Film ratings, motion picture something here. Nope, I will not allow you to have access to what am I doing. Motion Picture Association, who we are, what we do, research and policy, film rating, the credits. Okay, informing parents since 1968.
Are you a knock?
I'm sorry?
Are you a knock?
A knock. Sorry, I don't know what that is.
A knock.
A knock. Am I speaking Japanese?
Yeah, listen to him.
I'm gonna sound it out for you. Are you, or are you not a knock? Like Johnny Depp in 21 Jump Street.
Ah, I see. Okay, a narc.
A knock, yes.
Yes. No,
What was I saying?
I was missing the R when you were saying. I heard knock.
What are you? What are you doing here? What are you doing?
Well, aren't you a little cocky? Established in 1968, the film rating system proves parents with information needed to determine... Hold on. Did I read that wrong? In 1968, the film rating system provides parents with the information needed to determine if a film is appropriate for their child. I don't know what I thought that said. Ratings are determined by the Classification and Ratings Administration via a board comprised of an independent group of parents. Following at Film Ratings on Twitter for daily updates on film ratings. You know, I might actually just do that. Looking for more information on how the film system works? That's why I'm here.
So I won't get fined.
Check out filmratings.com to learn the history of film ratings program and download additional film rating resources. I don't want to download it. You can just tell me. That's cool. I would like to get that. For introduction for a video, that would be awesome. If it popped up in a little box, just have a picture of a goose. Right? You know, the following podcast. What's it say? Motion Picture Code and Rating Administration has rated this motion picture R. Yeah. Damn. I would have to figure out... Oh, can you say that? I don't know. Let's not get caught up in the ballistics here. Established Motion Picture 1968. Yeah, we know that already. Understanding Film Ratings... Oh, cool. So we have some films here. Wow. Not sure what the ratings mean. Check out our guide. General audience is G, PG, PG-13, R, NC-17. Okay. Well, you know. Now we're also going to 26 swear words that you thought were harmless. Okay. The F word is one of the most recognized swear words. Well, give me the whole list. Come on. If we're gonna dance, let's dance. 26 English swear words. Excuse you. How about you leave me alone? Thank you very much. That you thought were harmless. English swear words are recognized all around the world, used in movies, literature, and TV shows. It's one of the first English words most people learn before they properly learn English. Unlike German swear words or Spanish words, learning how to curse in English will help you understand almost everywhere you go. With over 1.5 billion English speakers around the globe, you can bet there are different styles and flavors when it comes to English swear words. You've got the American English swear word, which you likely have heard in Hollywood movies, Australian English curse words that are to die for, and sophisticated sounding British swear words. Just look at the famous chef Gordon Ramsay, for example. Okay.
Happy to be back on our show?
I'm so happy to be back. Last time you sat me down there, which was so unfair, because you bring the worst out of me.
No, I don't know, because you were being naughty and you knew it, and I had to put you on the naughty step. Yeah. I had to just, because when you come out, I get that energy, and I got the accent as well. And I just said, I said, you can't. I said, enough's enough.
I try hard.
Yeah, in fact, I figured something. Tonight we have
oh no!
Yeah.
Come on.
We have a and I brought.
Come on.
I have money. I have all this money right here. I don't even have to have money. And every time you say anything wrong that I think could be this, you have to donate, and it goes to a charity of my choice. Or you could also not do it, and and either way, I'll donate money to charity. You do either one. I know you don't do it on purpose.
No, I know.
And I'll try not to get you mad, because sometimes I get you angry and on attack.
I mean, dude, Chef Ramsay gets his point across. He's a very serious guy. He doesn't, when he says things, you don't take it lightly. He's one of those dudes that, if he's raising his voice, he beats it. Okay, you know what? I want to finish reading this, because I don't want to get sidetracked with videos that I can't use, We certainly don't want to encourage you to use these English swear words at other people. How many times are you going to say English swear words? But understanding these words will at least help you to be aware in case people are using them against you. Without further ado, here is a detailed breakdown of English swear words. Will share curse words used in all countries, then give you specific English swear words used in the United States, Britain, Australia. Enjoy and share with an English learning friend. Can I help you with something? Well, I think it's go time. We might have to just leave this right here for the moment. Tomorrow. Amazing how, you're deaf when I don't have nothing to give you. Come here. Let me bring her outside, because she didn't poop yet. And, it's only 11, so it should be around the time. I'll come back up and I'll finish this, so we can go right from here to jumping into breaking down the words. Laughing at birds.
We'll be right back after these messages.
We know your time is valuable. Thank you for holding. Someone will be with you as soon as possible.
The ground is now good to you've been joined by a beautiful lady.
Nope.
There's a man, actually, Derek.
Is that supposed to be funny?
Rate, share, stream, and download the podcast every week. If you leave a comment, that also helps the algorithm to let other people know that we exist out in internet land, check your local podcast listings. We're on Anchor, iTunes, Spotify, CastBox, just to name a few. With all that out of the way, let's get back into the show. Alright, that was a waste of 14 minutes of my life, because if we're trying to go clean, we can't use that, and it would take me 2 days just to edit out all the bad words that she used. Wow, what are we gonna do? This is no good. I'll tell you that right now. This is no good at all. Okay, we gotta think of something. What clean topics? FCC friendly topics. This is a lot more difficult than I thought it was gonna be. FCC ban words. Censorship rules. Nope. We know the 7 dirty words. I don't want to list the words banned from radio because I can't repeat them. Oh my god. This is no good. This is no good at all. What are we gonna do? Censored material? Censorship is, yeah, okay, I get it. I need examples. Help me, please. I don't live my life like this, so I don't know. This shows you how little I consider these things. Oh man, what are we gonna do? What are we gonna do? There's gotta be something. Because I know there's a lot that we can't talk about. There's a lot that we can't talk about. But there's gotta be stuff that we can talk about. Something that's gotta be. What are we doing? I can't believe I can't figure this out. This is insanity. I cannot believe this. You know what? Here we go. 12 best clean comedians that perform stand-up in 2020. Jeff Allen, Jim Gaffigan, Brian Regan, Jerry Seinfeld, Tim Hawkins. I don't watch any of these people. Jeff Foxworthy. Let's see what I might have to circle back around and talk about this later. Because I really can't.
Suffer. That word is overused, don't you think? I think the term suffer should be reserved for people writhing in agony on the ground. They're suffering. You know, am I allowed to run up to them? You're preaching to the choir! I have to alphabetize everything! Quit wriggling around! I'm trying to count your ribs!
Okay, I mean, this is bananas, dude. Credit to the guy. He just did basically 5 minutes in a late night setting, completely clean. I don't find any of it funny, but I'm a savage. Dirty person by nature. Angel with a dirty face, you know?
Keep the change, you filthy animal.
I don't know. I think I got introduced to things that I wasn't supposed to know about early. I think that's the problem. You know, comedians, Andrew Dice Clay, Eddie Murphy, who else was who else was really... I mean, and now that I think about it, I'm not really sure. Dice was a huge one. I watched everything that dude has ever done. Everything. From the day the laughter died, all the way through Valentine's Day Massacre. I'm trying to think of something recent. Filth. I can't look him up, because that in and of itself would just ruin this whole thing. But, I mean, I know a lot of his stuff. Man. I don't know. This is crazy. Crazy town that I'm even attempting to do this right now. Which, I mean, I can do it. I think I'm kind of proving that I could do it. Kinda. Because I thought to myself, like, well, that's the thing too, is I never got into this. I never got into why did this happen? I mean, I was cursing a lot. And it got to the point where it was annoying. I was like, I don't need to use this word that much. There's no need for it. It's getting ridiculous now, because it's losing its power. It's a problem. That's the real issue. When you use words like that, doesn't matter which one it is. The reason why curse words are so, I would argue, important to communication is because they hold power. Regular words do too, but not the way that curse words do. They add a little bit of flavor. Like it's funny how just by using one word you can strengthen what you're saying. You can tell how angry somebody is by how they say that word. Person's not using it at all. Which, I mean, arguably, I'm watching Fargo right now, right? Which is a television series that is not for the faint of heart or people that are not good with violence, excessive violence. Now, luckily for me, there hasn't been anything too serious. I mean, they've addressed some heavy topics, but so far, nobody's gotten sick. Of course, then I start season 3, and it seems like it's at least 2 times every episode. It's just disgusting. But I can talk about that in a different venue. I brought this up for a reason. Because it's based out of Minnesota, right? And the reason why I bring it up is because these people who are in this show, obviously they're all actors. I don't mean them. I mean the people that this show is based off of. If they really do talk like that, if this is how they speak in their day-to-day life, they do use words like heck and darn it. You know, they talk like that. Legit talk like that. So when a person like that gets angry and uses a word like one that I'm choosing not to use right now, it brings it up another level. Especially because they don't use it a lot, which arguably makes it even more powerful versus somebody like me where I say it so often I think it has no power at all whatsoever. Like, to me, it's just the reason why is because I don't get hung up on the fact that it's a dirty word. Okay, let's talk about why I curse so much. Honestly, it's because whether people want to admit it or not, a lot of people do, and I think way more often than they realize. Growing up, it was every other word that I heard people saying. So when I started to repeat them and I got in trouble, I really didn't understand what was the problem. Like, everybody is clearly exercising their right to use these. I don't see what the issue is. Now I forgot the point that I was making. That's what it was. People don't even realize how often they use these words. But it's ingrained. And I understand not everybody talks like that. Like, it took me a long time. But I'm just started to get used to, like, okay, you're not supposed to. I don't actively go into children's faces and scream obscenities at them. That would be ridiculous. But it was an adjustment to go, okay, well, but sometimes you do get caught up. It could be the dumbest thing. And you forget, at least I do, that you can't always talk about certain things. So, like, now I'm kind of towing a line here because I can't really give you an example without crossing over into what would then no longer be clean material. I'm doing it. I mean, it's going to be an hour of basically nothing, but we're doing it. I don't know. I guess I should just go back to the words, which would be, they're fine to use. Right? Okay. Some people don't like it. They think it's tasteless if you use these words at all, never mind in access. They think if you can't formulate a sentence without using these words, then you are uneducated and you bring nothing of value to the table. Which I say to you, that was the point. I don't get hung up on what words I'm using because I'm more focused in on whatever the bigger thing is that I'm trying to say. You know? If you're taking a road trip, you have to eventually forget about the fact that you're in a car and think about the direction that you're going, what is happening on the road in front of you, not about what is making the car operate while you're sitting in it. That's silly. Isn't that silly? Wouldn't you think so? It's kind of like, what are we doing? You gotta think of the bigger picture, man, which is what I do. I think another reason why I use these words so often is because I am a very passionate person by nature. I feel strongly about a lot of things. Sometimes I don't even realize that I feel strongly about things until I find myself in the crossroads of a moment where feelings happen. And I'm like, oh man, I really do care about this. That's weird. But I use them because everything is passionate, dude. All of it. Everything. So I use a word like that, like I'm expressing the emotion in that way, in that moment. But you only hear a 4-letter word that you think robs me from having a bigger and a better vocabulary. When I used to write, whatever, I get one. One slipped out. Not that bad. That's not bad for collectively an hour already. I know the original video was a half hour. Pretty sure. We're gonna look, because I'm pretty sure. Okay, what do we do? Yeah, 31 minutes, and now this is 22 minutes. So that's 30, 40, 53, plus the 14, 64, or 68, whatever the number is. That's over an hour. In only one time. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. When I used to write stories, whatever it was, I would make it a point to not use curse words when I write, just to be able to go, I could do it. It can be done. But that was for me personally. That was because I was trying to sound smarter. Because I don't think whether you use profane language or not, that determines whether you sound smart or you sound stupid. Whether you're educated in what you're talking about is what's going to make you sound smart or stupid. You know what I mean? You can't talk about planes if you only know how to repair bicycles. That doesn't work. It doesn't compute. It doesn't make sense. Think about that. So if I don't use curse words, that doesn't mean like I'm some great writer. I'm a great writer now because I don't use swear words when I write. And I don't say the word swear either. That's odd. Why do they call it that? Why is it called swearing? Is it because swearing... Hold on, without looking at the screen. Is it because swearing... When you swear something, you are given your word. And it's serious. It's a serious thing. Cursing, obviously curse is bad. Somebody puts the I can't think of the word now. Fatude. What is the word? I can't think of it. Somebody puts the juju on you. That's not it, but that's no good. General term is profanity. Swearing and cursing are both activities in which profanity may occur, so that's where the common terms came from. Cursing means to wish for evil to happen to others, and to state this wish as if it were to bring about by calling on a god or a magical spirit. What, really? So, when they get mad at me for using certain words, I use a 4-letter word, and you're equating that to me wanting something bad to happen to you? That's just rude. That's just rude. I don't want anything bad to happen to you. You know, I don't understand. How did we get here? What's the difference between cursing and swearing? They're often used interchangeably, but there's a subtle difference in the origin. A curse implies damning or punishing someone, while a swear word suggests blasphemy, invoking a deity to empower your words. Well, I had no idea. I had no idea. I mean, don't we take this a little too seriously? Don't we take this a little too seriously? Isn't it more about what we say? But everybody says it's not what you say, it's how you say it. But what I say does matter too. Like if I said, I hope you hurt yourself, right? That's a bad thing. It's a bad thing to say. Except if I said it in a nice way, like, alright, I hope you hurt yourself. It sounds like I'm being nicer than I am. But what I said still matters. So how I say it and what I said in that example doesn't really matter, does it? Even though I said it in a nice way, what I said was still a bad thing to say. And I understand there's different levels. There's different levels to this thing. Right? Like if you there's a difference between calling somebody fat. If somebody asks you, does this make me look fat? It's rude to go, yeah, you look like a house. Versus if you said, it's not very flattering on you. But you're saying the same thing. It's just, in my opinion, it's more insulting. It's more insulting to just not say what you mean. Just say what you mean. Simple. This is a useless hour. this probably is the worst thing I've ever done. It's the worst thing I've ever done. Because there's no substance to it. It's fat and salt-free potato chips. There's nothing there. There's no flavor. There's bland. That's all it is. Maybe not. Maybe people are like, wow, he really did it. He actually did it. Good for him. Now you should be able to do that all the time. You would be sorely mistaken. Why? If you can do it, why don't you? Because, let's be honest, I don't want to. I don't want to. I don't have to. I can use whatever words I want. So, I should exercise that right to use those words. After all, life is short. Do you really want to spend your time worrying about what words you say instead of thinking rather about what it is that you want to say? You have the power to change somebody's day, if not their life, with what you say. Isn't that more important? I mean, what do I know? I don't know anything. That's a spoiler alert for you. I don't know anything. But that's alright. It is what it is, man. An hour of clean material. Now I know I got some cleaning up to do. Obviously, I'm gonna have to cut some stuff out of our journey here, and I can actually mark this one episode clean. Now I'm gonna have to do this again at some point. Next time, however, I'm going to have subjects. I'm going to figure out a way that I can find material to talk about. Clean material. No cursing, family friendly, all that. But don't get excited, because I'm not changing my operation. I'm just showing you that you can do it. It's a fun thing to do on opposite day. It's a fun thing to do just to be able to test yourself. That's what this was. It was a challenge for me. Can I do it? Is it possible? I use whatever words I want all day, every day. So why not put a little restraint just for an hour, just for an episode, and not say anything horrific? Imagine, just to give you a fair warning, I should put this disclaimer in the beginning. Every other episode of this podcast is not clean and rather extremely explicit. If you are looking for a clean podcast, this is not the one for you. Now, having said all of that and gotten it out of the way, this is my attempt at doing a clean episode. Just to challenge myself to make sure I could do it. So, enjoy it, because the other one's not going to be for a long time. I just wanted to prove that I could do it, and I have done it. Probably. I say probably because I still have to go back and edit. To my recollection, only one word I have used that was a bad word in this entire hour plus that I've recorded altogether. Now there's about 16 minutes of material that cannot be used because of videos that I was watching.
Sometimes you want to say bad words. But sometimes, just sometimes, people get
angry if you use bad words. I'm going to teach you how not to swear. I'm also going to teach you how to swear. Perfect. So, we have these words in English called curse, swear, or bad words, okay? These are words that some people think are bad. Part of the reason why people believe that they're bad is people who are very religious. So, if you find yourself in the middle of America, which means you're not on the East Coast or you're not on the West Coast, you're kind of in the middle, smack dab. Or if you're in Calgary or Edmonton or some certain places in Canada where people are really Christian, a lot of them do not like it when you say,
All right, Sonny, that's enough.
have words in them that are the exact of what we are trying to avoid. Because that violates the Constitution of what we are doing here, I'm not going to allow them to be admitted into evidence. I'm going to ask the jury to ignore that last statement, have the stenographer strike it from the record, please. It never existed, even though we all heard it. Well, in the final product, you will not have heard it. And maybe I could take some of the stuff that I did not use in this. It's raining. I knew it. Maybe I could take some of the stuff that I did not use in this episode and use it in a follow-up episode where I can show you all that I didn't use. Maybe that would be a good idea. Maybe it would be a terrible idea. I don't even know if this is necessarily a good thing to do. But we've done it. The statement's been made. White America. There's a Eminem reference. Probably shouldn't drag race into it, so let's just cut that out also. Anyway, there it is. There is my hour. We're on 35 minutes and 45 seconds of me talking about absolutely nothing. Let me know what you think. I know I don't often ask for feedback. This is different. What did you think about this? Would you do it? Could you go if you put a time limit on yourself? Because we're not all doing podcasts. Otherwise, even though there's a lot of people that do it, thankfully not every single person has one. Although when you're making one, you might as well be competing with the rest of the world. It certainly feels that way with the sheer volume of numbers of people that are involved in this. And it's difficult when there's a subject right there I could have used. The difference between being an explicit content creator and a clean content creator. A clean content creator has more opportunities, but at the same time, you're limited. Because I'm explicit, I can go in places you probably couldn't survive, but you could do the same. While you may be able to go on a Tonight Show, just as an example, you could go on a Tonight Show and reach a cable audience. I could go on any corner of the street and talk to pretty much anybody. Not have to worry about it. I can't reach your audience. You could reach mine if you angled properly. That's the interesting thing. You could reach my audience. It doesn't really work the other way around. People who are into clean material don't really, I don't think, they don't tend to walk around with people who have explicit material. The worlds don't collide. However, clean can infiltrate dirty. Isn't that odd? It's weird, right? It's a good challenge. I would urge you to do it. Put it on yourself for an hour. See if you can handle it. If you're like me and you use these words loosely, like I do. Maybe you're at a place where you have to be clean 24 hours a day. Maybe you should do the opposite. Maybe for an hour, use a curse word once in a while. Maybe you feel a little icky after you do. Who knows? Interesting. Let me know what you think. Would you do it? Could you do it? Does this make for bad content? You tell me. You let me know what you think. Just because I'm curious. Just want to see. We'll follow this up. This has been what looks to be shaping up to be episode 67 Terminator Timeline. It's March 10th. So this will be coming out on the 18th of April. As of right now. Unless something else happens in between now and then. Which is entirely possible. But I'm not sure. So, Saturday's Lapping at Birds. Just as a friendly reminder. We will resume all explicit activities within the following week. If you are looking for a clean podcast, this is not the one for you. But to everybody that lives and operates in the censored world, the clean world, this is mine. Shortwave. I can't do that. Can't do that. I was going to make a reference to a car in Dallas, but I'm not gonna. Because we're gonna stay clean. Nice to see all of you. If you will excuse me, I'm going to slide back underneath the figurative carpet. Go back, retreat back underground. Be greeted by the cover of darkness, you know, just go back to the slums where I belong, where I feel more comfortable. Appreciate all of you for stopping by. Maybe I'll catch you next week. Remember, at Laughing Birds on Twitter, at Laughing Birds Pod on Instagram. There's artwork up on the Instagram page. Clips get posted on the Instagram, maybe not the Twitter as often because the response seems to be better on Instagram, but we'll figure that out as we go. But follow that stuff. I do Instagram live sometimes, so keep your eyes open for that. Live streams on the YouTube channel Jack01Trade, which I haven't done one in a long time. We will get back to doing that at some point, probably after Thursday or the day after, possibly next week, depending on when I can get my English buddy BCHQ, because I know he wanted to jump in on the live stream, so we'll figure all that out. And that's it. Catch you all next week. Can't believe I actually did it, dude. That's wild. I'm proud of myself. And you know what? This is a lot easier than I thought. It's very difficult to come up with subjects to talk about. But it was surprisingly easier than I thought to not curse. However, I do feel like I lost a bit of funny. Because, I don't know how to... It's a strengthening exercise, I think. Let me stop.